Hey guys, Gaming Off the Grid here, and well, isn't it interesting that right on the heels of Sony's major announcement about the PlayStation Classic, today news began to trickle out about the reapproval of the trademark for the N64 controller.
Interesting. I wonder what Nintendo is up to. Could we be getting an N64 Classic?
It is our strong belief here on Gaming Off the Grid that Nintendo has it in overdrive. They are trying to get the N64 Classic on store shelves by this holiday season. Nintendo wants a rematch of the N64 versus the Sony PlayStation.
Ooh. We're also drinking another beer by Clown Shoes Brewery. Today we're drinking the Exorcist. It's a dry hopped stout.
Alright, you know the drill. Make sure you smash that subscribe button and ring that bell icon so you never miss an upload. And sit back, relax, pour yourself a beer if you care to, and stay tuned for this episode of Gaming Off the Grid. Alright, everything you are about to hear is merely a prediction by Gaming Off the Grid. We have looked into our crystal ball, and we're about ready to tell you what we think is going to happen with the N64 Mini.
Back in July 2017, Nintendo filed for a trademark for the N64 controller, and it just got approved.
It's not uncommon for companies like Nintendo to refile for patents and trademarks on old work that they have done, because they want to secure that intellectual property moving forward. The tipping point in this case is the way that image that was filed. It's like a silhouette, if you will, of the N64 controller, and it looks identical to the patents that were filed for the NES Classic and the SNES Classic. And they actually revealed themselves on the packaging of those two projects. On the top of the box, you have that silhouette of those controllers.
So that's why we're assuming that it's coming out. I mean, we've been talking about this forever. We mentioned it when Sony announced their PS1 Classic. We talked about it at E3. We've been just hoping for something mini from Nintendo, and now we're one step closer. I think Nintendo leaked this information on purpose because they were jealous, or that rivalry with Sony is still there, so they're like, "Ah, Sony beat us to the punch. We gotta release something, but we're not ready to announce it. Let's just release this and see how the internet likes it."
Yeah, there's a guy that I follow that one of a quote he uses all the time is that things leak that people want to leak. This came out for a reason right after Sony's announcement of the PlayStation Classic. You gotta kind of wade through the weeds and understand, like, yeah, there could be websites doing this because of clicks and things like that, but the N64 Classic is gonna happen. It's just a matter of when, and we think it's gonna happen sooner rather than later.
It would be so awesome for Christmas this year getting 2 mini consoles from Gen 5. That would be awesome.
Absolutely. And you know, I think there's always been a notch in Nintendo's badge, and it's always rubbed them the wrong way. You know, Sony dominated them during that era. It was 3 times the install base of the N64. I have a strong feeling that this time around won't go the same way. I think the nostalgia strings will tug harder on N64 fans than the PlayStation 1 fans. I just think it's aged better. I think Nintendo has got a stronger brand for longevity. I've always enjoyed Sony in the moment, but when I'm looking in the rear view mirror, all I can see is Nintendo. I don't know. What do you think?
I agree 100% with that. My nostalgia is the 64. There's not much PS1 nostalgia for me. I mean, the PS1 was awesome. There's some sweet games on it. But the 64 I owned as a kid, and it was my first console, and I just love it. And I love how it's oriented to be like multiplayer, and you can play up to 4 players, and that's so awesome because the PS1 Classic, that's only 2 players.
Yeah.
So I think it'd be so sweet, and that brings us to, like, is this going to come with 4 controllers?
Yeah. There's a whole litany of questions around how Nintendo's going to do the N64 Classic. I've got my ideas of how I want it to go down, but does it come with 1 controller, 2? Does it come with all 4? That would be one huge leg up on Sony. Also, another thing to think about, Rumble Pack features. Is that going to be built in? Are you going to get a different Rumble Pack? How is that going to work? And then another thing with the controllers that I wonder is if they're to scale, they're going to be larger than the actual console itself.
It's going to be really funny.
But what are they going to do about all the colors?
Ooh.
How cool would it be? Sony has the PlayStation Classic out. 2 gray controllers.
And a gray system.
Nintendo, much like toys, there's a fad with toys in Japan. where you don't know what you're going to get. You buy it, you open it up, and it's random. Where you get the N64 Classic, and you get pre-packed with 2 to 4 random color controllers that were actually available during the time of the N64.
Yeah, so you got your gray, the black, the purple, the clear, green.
Yeah, all the translucents, all the solids. You have all of them.
That would be so cool. It would be cool if they released consoles that were different colors too, because we have like the purple console and the green console. Yeah. That would be so sweet if you opened it up and your console was purple and it was just all random. That's what Nintendo should do. That's phenomenal.
Absolutely. That is where, and who knows where they're at with this. They might just be trying to get it out fast. But I think they could dominate Sony by having every package be 100% random.
Oh.
It's a dice roll.
That would be so much fun, and it would help sales, because like you buy one and you're like, ooh, this one's green. I'm gonna go buy another one and see if I can get a purple one.
Yeah.
Like, people will buy more than one if it's random and different colors. It would just be a giant fun game.
Honestly, it's probably not what they're going to do, but if anybody from Nintendo sees this, that's what you should do. Because that would be
so much fun.
It would be incredible. It would be absolutely insane. The other rub here with Nintendo, and I think that's why this thing has taken so long to happen, is the issue between Nintendo and Rare. Rare is with Microsoft now, and we mentioned in our Gen 5 episode, the N64 was literally carried by Nintendo games and games that were made by Rare. If they can't work out that situation, this console might not look the way that a lot of fans are going to want it to look. There's great Nintendo games, but how do you have an N64 Classic that doesn't have GoldenEye, Diddy Kong Racing, Conker's Bad Fur Day, the Banjo-Kazooie games? How does that happen?
I don't know, because those are what I love about the 64. I mean, I do love all the Nintendo brand stuff, the Mario games, the Zelda games. Those are all incredible, but all the Rare games on 64 are my favorite games. So like, my ideal mini 64 would come with Conker's Bad for a Day, Banjo-Kazooie, Perfect Dark, or GoldenEye. I think Perfect Dark's better, but I'll take either one. And then a non-Rare game, I would love a Tony Hawk Pro Skater game. I don't care which one it is. Actually, I do care. I want number 3, but any of them will do. One's pretty fun. We dove into that recently and I could not stop playing it.
Yeah, I'm very jealous about your infatuation with Tony Hawk 3 on the N64 because I never played it on the N64. And I actually, when you brought it up, was like, was that even really a thing? Because I only know it on the next generation. Yeah. But that would be very awesome to be able to play it on the N64.
What are some games that you would want on it?
You know, I would love to get one of the wrestling games, whether it's WCW vs. NWO Revenge, WrestleMania 2000, or No Mercy. I would love No Mercy. That's the better of the games, but those games were incredible. I do worry about licensing issues there.
Yeah, that's hard.
But they would be fantastic. I hope they pack it with both of these Zelda games, Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask. I've always been kind of that weird guy that liked Majora's Mask because it was a little darker than Ocarina of Time, and I loved that game. But I know if one of, if at the chopping block, Ocarina would get the nod over Majora's Mask. So I just hope both of them are on there. And then you got to have Mario Kart. I mean, that is just got to be on there. I think much like your want for those Tony Hawk games, it's all going to boil down to licensing issues. But those would be some heavy hitters. If they get Rare on board, this thing is going to just dominate.
Yeah,
it will be the best-selling classic console up to date, I believe.
What do you think of this beer?
This is a very good beer, very unique, and this is the intersection of what we both love in beer.
Yes, it has the hoppiness from a good IPA, and then it has like the nice, rich flavor of a good stout. And it's kind of confusing at first. I'm like, whoa, what am I drinking? It's just very unique.
Yeah, they made a very, very good beer here. It is really unique. I can't say that I've had a beer that resembles this ever.
I didn't even know that these could like cross paths. It's crazy, but yeah, it's really good.
It's really weird. It hits you on the front like a stout. As the swallow happens, it becomes an IPA, and then it finishes like a perfect marriage between a stout and an IPA. You get that aftertaste of both types of beer. And we've been on a Clown Shoes Brewery kick lately because they've been doing a lot of good things by us. Every time we grab one, it's just a mind-blowing beer. So.
Yeah, we're in love with this brewery because every time we go to the store, we grab another one of their beers, and it's like, man, that says a lot.
Yeah, they're doing very, very well. So if you're out and about and see Clown Shoes Exorcism, you got to check this out. It's a dry hop stout, and it's incredible. Alright, only time is going to tell if our crystal ball is as clear as we think it is. But the N64 Classic is on its way, folks. We think it's going to be here sooner than later. We think there is going to be a huge battle between the PlayStation Classic and the N64 Classic this holiday season.
Oh, I hope so. Leave a comment below. What do you think is going to happen with the N64 Classic? Do you think they're going to release it? Do you think that this leak is for that? Or do you think they were just renewing the trademark for the controller because of ownership? No one knows. And if this were to come out, what would be some great games that you would love to see on it? What are some ideas, speculations that you guys have? We would love to know. And as always, keep gaming, keep drinking. We'll see you next time on Gaming Off the Grid.
A patent General George variety.
Patton Oswald.
Okay. Yes, I have a feeling. We both have a feeling.
I've got a feeling.
Woohoo! What are we drinking today?
Oh, today we're drinking a beer that I forgot to look at before we started.
Yeah, we almost got it. A couple more, I think. Right here, and well, isn't it interesting? Yeah, it is. On the heels of the major announcement by Sony of the PlayStation Classic,